On this episode of Team AFN's Fly the Flag podcast, our host, AJ Berfumo, discusses maintaining momentum in a rising rate market with speaker, author, and the CEO of Mortgage Champions, Dale Vermillion. Let's listen in.
Hey, Team AFN, it's AJ Berfumo here with your Fly the Flag podcast. We always have such amazing guests here on the Team AFN Fly the Flag podcast that bring such value, not only to the podcast, but to AFN. And today is no different at all. Today we have Dale Vermillion from the Mortgage Champions with us. And Dale's going to be talking about multiple topics, about re-engaging with your referral sources, about maintaining momentum you have. So, let's welcome Dale to the Fly the Flag podcast. Dale, it is amazing to be here with you today. Thanks so much for joining us.
AJ, great to be here. Thanks so much for having me. And I love the AFN family and team. Had a chance to work with you guys for many years and really appreciate the partnership and excited to be here.
Excellent. So let's jump right into things here. So I know we had a couple topics in mind that we want to speak about, and one of them was re-engaging with referral sources. I know that 2020 and into 2021, we were all so busy with the refinance market, and some of our referral sources may feel a little neglected. So let's talk about re-engaging and possibly picking up some new referral sources.
Well, I think there's a couple of rules of thumb, AJ, that we got to understand right out of the gate. And that is number one, and I think this is paramount to success, is that for most of your real estate agents, 2020 was not a good experience with their lenders. And you know what? That means massive opportunity for us at AFN, because frankly, what that means is they're wide open to having a conversation with somebody who can provide them with better communication, better turn times, that can provide better approvals. It's a process of understanding that the marketplace, 38 years I've been doing this, I'm not sure I've seen a marketplace ever where it's such great opportunities to get with those really big, really powerful real estate agents, because they're having a record year this year. We had a record year last year. They were kind of neglected last year. This is your opportunity to do that. So it's important to understand that. And look, here's the key. The key to this business has always been the same. It's about partnerships. It's not about a vendor-lender relationship. You cannot go into your conversations and treat them like they're a vendor and you're the lender. It's, I want to build a partnership. I want to help you build your business as a real estate agent. I want to talk to you about how we can provide services that are going to increase your profits, increase your sales, increase your listings. If you're focused on that mindset and you really work with them from that vantage point, you're going to win big. And let me say one thing about this marketplace. You better be a virtual communication expert in today's marketplace, because look, the good news is coronavirus is starting to subside, we think. Mm-hmm. We just heard a report yesterday that, now if you've been vaccinated, you don't need to have a mask. That's going to open up a whole lot of things very quickly. Schools are starting to reopen. So we can start meeting with our real estate agents again. But I want to say this. Be sure before you meet with them, you call them, you set that appointment. You don't just show up, and you ask them what their preference is, because there's very strong biases about this coronavirus. Some people still don't want to be around other people. Okay. You want to honor that, and you want to make sure you do a great job virtual in those cases when you're setting them up.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense, so that you're listening to your audience and you're setting this up to be a comfortable situation, a very open conversation, of course.
Yep. It's amazing to me. I'm doing hundreds and hundreds of Zoom meeting type webcasts and live simulcasts and training sessions all the time. And I got to be honest with you, I look at some of these backgrounds and the guys who've got, the camera halfway up their face and, activities going. You got to make sure in today's marketplace, look, we are moving more and more and more and more into a virtual world of relationship building and communication. You got to bone up on this, and you got to be an expert. You got to have an exceptional background. You've got to have it free of distractions. You got to make sure all your audio and your video is working well. You got to make sure you're connecting and setting appointments the right way. And you got to make sure, most importantly, you're really giving good eye contact and communication to your real estate agent to really show interest in them. And find out, here's the number one rule when you prospect for an agent. I'm going to give you actually two of them. Number one, research before your call. Know things about their business, know things about their successes, and utilize those to your benefit so that they know you did your homework. And then number two, make sure that when you set that appointment with them, it's all about them. It's not a sales pitch for AFN. They don't want to hear about what you can do. They want to talk to you about their business and their needs. Then you can position back and provide solution to what they need instead of just coming in, both guns blaring. Hey, here's what we can do. Hey, our turn times. Hey, this. Don't do that. That's old school stuff that doesn't work anymore. Today, people want to hear, want to talk to you about what they need and want you to listen to them. If you do that, you're going to win big.
I love it. Absolutely. I mean, it applies to just about everything. It applies to bringing a solution to a problem. And you're right. I think you go out there and you listen to your audience and you hear what it is they need and you can provide that, you're going to win.
Yeah. It's funny. People ask me the question all the time. Well, how do you find the best agents? Well, number one, you do your research, but number two, you ask the best agents, who are your competitors? Who are you trying to be like? The favorite question I used to ask my realtors is, let me ask you a question. All the other real estate companies out there, who are you trying to emulate and model your company after? And whoever they tell you, that's the best in the area. I guarantee it. They're trying to be the best. That's the next prospect call you make right there. And you can use that leverage to say, I've been talking to other agents in the area. They tell me you guys are the best of the best. And I love working with the best of the best because so are we at AFN. And I want to talk about how we can merge a partnership to literally change your profits and help you grow more. Boom, you're in.
Real quick, I want to touch on, you brought up a moment ago, virtual is becoming everything. I'm doing everything virtually now, 4 or 5 appointments a day virtually. And we're talking about backgrounds, which, by the way, if anyone from Team AFN has an opportunity to watch the video version of this podcast, you got to check out Dale's background. This thing is cool.
Appreciate that. And it's real. That's not a virtual background. That's actually my real office, but I always make sure it's clean. I'm in the right spot. You got to have a good depth behind you. It's, you're creating an image the minute you get on with that real estate professional. Okay. If your image is you're sitting at your kitchen table, there's stuff happening all around you. It's a messed up stuff. You got dishes on. I see the craziest things, AJ. I believe you. I train 10,000 people a month. It's nuts what I see in background. It's like, really, do you want people to see that? But you know what? They're not thinking outside the box. They're only thinking for the moment. We got to really be very proactive in our mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. I like a branded background. I do. I'll tell you the truth. I'm not crazy about the virtual backgrounds. I think they're a little bit of a distraction. I think that certain movements, now you're seeing shadows behind heads and everything. Yeah. I like a very natural background. I think it brands you, and I think it's far less distracting.
Yeah. And you know what? Look, literally, you can create a small little studio in your office where you get good lighting, make sure you got a good microphone. It's a minimal investment in yourself and in your business to get maximum return. You are setting yourself apart from everybody else. Look, your goal is always, when that real estate agent meets you, they're looking at you and going, all right, this person is the highest level professional I've ever worked with. Why would I not want to meet with them? Clearly, their impression is powerful. They're probably just as good in their job as they are in their first impression.
I was actually just about to bring that up because you spoke a moment ago about how when you talk to a real estate agent, who are you emulating? So now, how do we make ourselves as mortgage originators that person that others are emulating?
Well, I think the key is you just, there's so much online stuff that you can look at, video production, YouTube channel, all of those kind of things, to kind of get a sense for what you want it to look like, and then just create that same kind of emulation. Mm-hmm. The key to our success is really very simple. You follow people who are very successful, and you just do what the heck they do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to rethink this thing. Just do what others do that are successful, and you're going to get that kind of success.
Right. Put a little bit of your own spin on it to make it your own, right?
That's right.
All right. So one of the other things I know that we want to discuss here is that in uncertain times, rates are still under 3%, but there are some concerns of rates being on a rise. So what are some ideas, or what some of our Team AFN members would be able to do to keep that momentum going that they brought from 2020 into 2021?
Well, how long do we got? I could talk for hours. Let me say a couple of things. Okay. First off, let me correct something you said.
And I'm not going to stop you. So go ahead.
Let me correct one thing you mentioned a moment ago.
Sure.
For everybody in their brain. There's not a possibility rates are going up. Rates are up, and they're going to be up. The biggest mistake you can make, and I'm seeing this everywhere I go, is loan officers that are sitting in today's marketplace going, well, the last 2 weeks, man, rates have dropped a little bit. Maybe 2020 is coming back. That's false hope right there. You've got to enter this market anticipating and expecting a higher rate market. You've got to understand rate and term refis are not going to be anywhere even remotely close to 2020. Your market is cash out debt elimination in this marketplace, and there's plenty of that out there. You open up the entire mortgage universe of homeowners when you do that. If you're trying to be a rate and term jockey in 2021, which you were able to get away with in 2020, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be highly disappointed in your results. You might not even make it through this year. You've got to rethink, and what you literally have to do, AJ, is you got to flip 2020 180 degrees and go into 2021.
Okay.
Because we saw the lowest rates in U.S. history ever. I literally saw 1.99 rates at one point, which I've been doing this for almost 4 decades. If you'd ever asked me at any time in my career prior to last year, do you think rates will ever get under 2 on a mortgage? I'd be like, you are nuts. No, ain't going to happen. And it did. We're not going to see a repeat of that anytime soon based on economic numbers, based on job numbers, based on the economy, based on all of the other things. We might see it in 2022 or 2023. We'll see. It doesn't matter. You got to approach the market today and say, look, rates are up a little bit. And in the refi world, when you're talking rate terms, even a little bit is a lot because it changes the dynamic. What you got to attack is you got to look at that rate and term and turn it into a cash out debt elimination, and then just attack this purchase market. This is the biggest purchase market projected in U.S. history. We've already broke a bunch of records from 2006 in home sales already this year. And I know there's an inventory issue, but look at the raw numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, there's competition, there's inventory lags in comparison to demand, but the demand is 3 times. From March of 2020 to March of 2021, we saw a 67% increase in home sales with a literally 40% decrease in inventory. So you've got highest demand with lower inventory, but lots of sales happening. You just got to be in the midst of that, and you got to really work your purchase market this year.
Yeah, absolutely. We here on the Fly the Flag podcast a few weeks ago, we had Barry Habib, who had a very interesting statistic that I forget if it's 32 or 33 years old at the moment, but that the average age of a home buyer right now, a first-time home buyer, is 32 years old, and they were born in 1988, or I think it's 33 years old. They were born in 1988, and more children were born in 89, 90, and 91 than in 88. So this is only going to keep escalating.
Yeah. I mean, we are on the precipice of a 5 to 7 year run of massive purchases based on the population numbers and the fact that, millennials were a little bit of late bloomers in owning homes. Yeah. Now they're in the full stride. We're living in a gig economy where they've got multiple forms of income. You got to be prepared for that. We also are living in an economy where they're starting to make really good money again. It's going to be a booming purchase market. And you know what? Let me tell you one more thing about those real estate partners. All right. We abandoned them, some of us, in 2020. And it's going to take a little bit of forgiveness in order to get back in their good graces again. You don't want to do it twice. Let me tell you that right now. You don't want to go there, beg forgiveness, rebuild the relationship, and go, oh, hey, rates just dropped. See, I'm going to go do some
Right.
You're going to be in trouble.
I hear you. So let's jump into, of course, our Team AFN marketing department, the best marketing department anywhere in the mortgage industry. And all Team AFN members can reach out to the marketing department to learn more about what Mortgage Champions offers here to AFN. So Dale, you want to jump into that a little bit and let our AFN team members know what you have available?
Well, I've been a trainer now and speaker for 26 years. I've been 38 years in the business. What Mortgage Champions is, and the reason it's named Mortgage Champions, because it's literally based on, I've trained over 1 million mortgage professionals in my career, and what it's based on is the best practices of the top producers in the nation. I've built a selling system over 38 years that is second to none. I've worked with over 600 lenders around the country. We've never had one in 26 years whose numbers have not increased because we've changed their process, their approach, and their whole mindset about sales. I teach that a rate doesn't matter, because it doesn't. I teach a value prop that will set you apart from your competition. I teach loan officers how to build relationships that we're getting away from in this fintech world we live in today and losing the edge over our competition because of it. And I teach loan officers how to build options the right way, so you literally delight your borrowers. You change your life in a powerful way and get that, not only the deal, but the repeat and referral business. And all of it, we have online training, e-learning training, live webcast training. We got every kind of training form you can imagine in sales, leadership, and customer service for operations teams. So there's no limit to what we can do. I've had a chance to speak many times at the FN annual conference. Been friends with Corey for a long, long time. We've worked together many times. I'm one of her biggest fans. She's just amazing. And I just love the company. So if you're looking to attack this marketplace, this is really my sweet spot, is a rising rate market. I'm an old consumer finance guy. You know what? If you sold rate, you were dead. I'd have never made it 38 years if I didn't know how to deal with high rates. So we can teach you in this marketplace how to really succeed in a powerful way.
I mean, that's amazing. That's awesome, because we do have so many Team AFN members that have exceeded income expectations in 2020, now coming into 2021, and want to maintain that. So it seems like you'll be able to provide some answers for doing that.
Yep.
And let's break this down for a moment. Rate doesn't matter. I understand that you do say that all the time. You mentioned that a moment ago. Let's take a dive into that. Let's take a dive into rate doesn't matter. Break that down for us, please.
Well, look, Warren Buffett, one of the smartest guys and best businessmen ever, said this years ago. Okay, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Never a true statement made. I've expanded that statement to add one more thing. And it's simply this: it's never what you pay that matters. It's always what you get. And that's true. Now, value is what you get in a transaction. The rate and the fees are what you pay for the transaction. I've learned something, if I've learned nothing else in 38 years, that's very important. It's simply this: you can get a low rate and a bad loan. No questions asked, if you don't do it right with the right professional who's giving you the right service. So anybody can give a rate quote, say that they're cheaper than me. But the question's not, are they cheaper than me? The question is, are they better than me? The question is, are they going to provide more value than me? Because my belief is, if you think about a mortgage, what is a mortgage in the raw sense of the word, AJ? You know what it is? It's money. It's what money. It is. It's not a debt. It's money. It's money. An investment tool. And you want to treat it as such. So really astute loan officers understand that when a borrower says, hey, you know what, I've been quoted rates from different lenders, I've been quoted this, can you beat it? They're smart enough to know that you literally should be saying to that borrower, you know what? I don't know if I can beat that rate, but I'm 100% confident I can beat whatever they offered you in the way that I can save you money. And here's the reason why I don't know the rate: because without a complete application, nobody knows your rate. And I'm pretty confident those 3 quotes you got, nobody took your app, nobody verified your credit, nobody verified your income, and nobody completed the process. They're like, well, no, I haven't done that yet. Then those rate quotes are meaningless. What I want to do is I want to take time with you to give you a meaningful quote, but more importantly, I want to show you I can save you money in ways that they've never showed you before. Not just lower your payments, but show you ways to cut terms, show you ways to get out of debt, show you ways to get access to cash, do things that literally change your life. And here's the deal: it won't cost you a dime for me to show you what I can do. And if I can't prove I'm the best loan officer you've ever met, that saves you more money than anybody, you are always welcome then to go get a bona fide quote. But let me first give you a real quote. And if you love it, let's work together. It's that simple.
Team AFN, that was probably somewhere around the 22-minute mark of the podcast. So please go back and listen to that multiple times, because I'm sure that if our Team AFN members could master what it was that you just put out there, that value proposition that you just put out there, they're going to see a ton of success.
They will. We've seen conversion rates double and triple for our clients all over the country. So it's a process of quit talking rates and fees and costs, start talking money and savings for your borrowers. You do that, you're going to win in a massive, massive way. And take your time, slow down, get to know your customers well, understand their situation, provide them with customized options that will really put them in a good place. And you know what? They're not going to care about an eighth of a point or a quarter of a point, because you've literally changed their life. You're literally a life changer for them, and that's what you want to be.
No, absolutely. And I believe in what you're saying right now, because if I were in that situation looking for a loan, I want the guy that's going to provide me the most value, the loan originator that's going to provide me the most value. And I'm not leaving that person for $100 in fees or an eighth on an interest rate. I want someone that I know is going to get through the finish line. So, question I have for you here. Let's just say you're a brand new loan originator. You just got licensed a day ago. Today's day one. What are you doing?
Well, first thing I'm doing is I'm going on mortgagechampions.com. I'm buying my training. That's the first thing I'm doing. But outside of that, look, what you need to do, get a mentor. That's the number one thing you need to do. Mm-hmm. We've been in business 26 years because we become that mentor for a lot of new people, bottom line, until they find one. Like, go find somebody who is incredibly good at this business. In fact, multiple people if you can, and just learn what they do. Buy them lunch, buy them dinner, take them out, and just ask them, can I just pick your brain for an hour and get them to help you understand how to succeed? Then bone up on the mortgage business, get to understand the details, and get a great training. If it's not Mortgage Champions, find another one, but get some great training that will teach you, and just practice like a crazy person and start building your habits the right way. And you know what? I'll tell you an interesting story, AJ.
Please.
I was a manager for 11 and a half years. Okay. I probably hired and trained over 10,000 loan officers. At one time, I had 900 that I was responsible. I had a 2,300 employee company that I was responsible for. So I worked with lots of loan officers. You want to hear the craziest thing? I ran the number one branch, number one district, number one region, was the youngest CEO at Sears Consumer ever at age 28 without a college degree.
Wow.
And here's the reason why. It was the people.
Tell me, please. Tell us.
You know who I hired, AJ? In 11 and a half years, I never once hired a person with one-day mortgage experience. They were all off the street, waiters, waitresses, college grads, people in retail. I trained them from the ground up, and I proved one very powerful point. You don't need a lick of experience to crush it in this business. And I had 50 and 60 loan producers all over the place working for me, all over the country, that were closing crazy numbers of loans. So it doesn't take anything but sitting down with a top producer, learning what they're doing, boning up on your skills, practicing. You can be a stud or a studette in no time flat and make a ton of money.
So I absolutely know that all of our branch managers out there that heard what you just said are dropping their jaws right now. So this is something that, of course, Mortgage Champions could assist some of our branch managers in doing, in growing that team.
It is. Our training is designed to take that person who comes in off the street, and within a month, they've got a complete selling system. I've seen people closing 20 loans at the end of their second month that I've trained that never saw a mortgage the day before, couldn't spell the word mortgage, let alone sell one. So we can fix that.
Love it. Love it, Dale. So, Dale, this was an amazing, exciting half hour here. It's coming to a close. I know you got to jump here. So, Team AFN, remember, reach out to our marketing department, learn more about Mortgage Champions, how you can grow yourself as a loan originator, branch managers, how you can bring on new loan originators, grow your branch. Dale, before we wrap things up here, what do you have for Team AFN?
Here's the deal. This year should absolutely be a record year for you, even better than last year. But you got to attack the market with a positive mindset. You got to believe in the marketplace. You got to sell right in the refi market. Don't be selling rate and terms anymore. You're going to be looking for that good business, and just really cultivate your relationships with your partners and build that purchase stuff out. And if you do that, remember, the most important thing that you do is take a good, complete application, so you're not spending a lot of time on the back end chasing stuff you didn't get the first time. As I've always said, if you don't have time to do it right the first time, where are you going to find time to do it the second and third time?
Right.
Do it out the first time, be done with it, and go to town.
Dale, thanks so much for spending time here with us today. Again, Team AFN. To learn more about Mortgage Champions and how they can help your pipeline, how they can help grow your branch, please reach out to our amazing Team AFN marketing department. Dale, once again, thanks so much. I had an incredible time here. This was an unbelievable Fly the Flag podcast. And Team AFN, thank you so much for tuning in here to the Team AFN Fly the Flag podcast.